Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Fangirl Chat. I'm Teresa Delgado, one of your hosts, and with me is my co-host, Trisha Barr.
Hi, Teresa. Exciting news the last few days about Star Wars Rebels, and we thought we just had to chat about it.
It has been a rain of news, like every single day. I wake up in the morning and go, what now?
Well, no, literally. And the character we're going to talk about was middle of the night. And the worst part was I was online. I wasn't sleeping and I didn't see it. So I had gotten up to put some notes on my computer about the story I was writing. And it had already been posted, the news about Sabine's reveal sneak peek on The Hollywood Reporter.
Well, I'm so excited about Sabine. When we saw her first images from New York Toy Fair, and mind you, these were images that we had to search for. Thank you to my friends over at Jedi News and Gakface and Galactic Junkyard and everywhere that was posting pictures. We were able to see kind of pictures and images of her, and like Stitch Kingdom, put a picture up from a calendar, and that's how we were able to figure out what her name was, but we had to wait for what seemed like forever, and neither one of us were fans of that, by the way. But
no, and it was the first picture I saw was the little kind of pinkish figure that was for Star Wars Command, so you couldn't really, they all are just one color like G.I. Joes. So I was like, all right, what is that? Who is that? Who is she?
Yeah, and so we had to wait. But we're glad that her information is out now. And I am just in love with this character, and I think she's going to be amazing. And, I mean, we don't know too much about her, but we know that Sabine is a Mandalorian, and she is artistic, which is awesome because we've never gone down that road before in Star Wars, and she is an expert with explosives, so I think that's really cool. And I remember seeing a tweet from someone that, and I'm going to use a little bit of language here, but you're a badass when you don't have to look at your own explosion.
I love that. That makes me laugh.
And she's actually being characterized as feisty, which has kind of brought up some stuff with some people on the internet, and people being classified as feisty. And I would just like to publicly say I have no issue with the word feisty. I've been described as feisty my whole life, and I empower that word, so I'm all for it.
Well, it's good. All the words used were sassy, spunky, feisty, which can have some gendered implications. So it would have been nice maybe to see like brave instead of sassy or courageous or something just to mix it up. But she was very, they went full on, and this is a girl character. She's pinkish, orangish, she's got the kind of feminine styling colors, great little streaks in her hair. She's definitely a girl. And so, and they used words that for some people feel like they have a connotation for it. But with that said, I love the word sassy. I call my horse Sassy. He's a boy. And I like being feisty and I like being spunky. So definitely we'll own the words.
Yep, I will own them for sure. And one of the things I love about the images that we saw some of her graffiti artwork, because that's actually what her art is, graffiti. And I know there were some people that were kind of, anti the graffiti aspect of her, but this is the way I see it. She's a rebel, and she's a part of this team of rebels. And you don't do things by the book if you're a rebel. And one of the things that's been characterized in our culture as rebellious is graffiti. Now, does that mean that it's all, bad graffiti or, bad words or whatever? No, it can be very artistic. And we see images of Imbo and Cad Bane and some of the stuff that she drew. So that makes me kind of interested. Like, does she know them? Or, what's her backstory? What kind of connection does she have to that? But also, there's just this great scene where she's drawn a red circle with a line through it over a stormtrooper helmet, like a dead stormtrooper. Awesome.
It is awesome. I am one of the people with a little bit of mixed feelings. Obviously, they do more worse things like killing as a rebel. So tagging seems like, well, it's not that big of a deal. But then again, sometimes you wonder, kids know they're not going to go obviously kill somebody, but will they pick up tagging like my hero does that? I should do it. And so I think they'll be respectful. The storytelling team, they know that this is a kid's show. So I like, just because she's an artist, and a lot of female fans express themselves through cosplay, fan art, fan fiction, fan vids, fan films. So this sort of artistic side is really cool, because I think people will be able to relate to her, and that will make it an interesting way for male and female fans to relate to her. People who are that artistic. Oh, wow, she's like me.
Yeah, I agree. And one of the other things I think that is going to appeal to a lot of people is that, from what we've seen, I mean, other than the shade of her skin, she's a human, and we haven't had a human female star in a while. I guess since Padme. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and the actress who plays her is Tia Surkar, who is also a person of color, and I think people who will be excited about the diversity in that, and also the character. She's a beautiful young woman, and she was so excited in the video to be playing this character.
No, she really was, and I think they've put together a really good voice cast from everything that I've seen so far, and I really am excited to see more, because in these videos we only get to hear them say, small little blurbs and nothing of really any context, so they're not giving away anything about the story, and so we haven't really gotten to hear the voices of these characters yet, so I'm really excited for that. I'm just so stoked.
So Tia was on Witches of East End, which is a show that you watch, right?
Yes, actually. Yes, she was. I didn't really realize that or pick that up until, much later, and, once I looked at her IMDb page and stuff like that. But yeah, she was on the show, and she did a great job on that show. I really like the Witches of East End.
It took me a minute to recognize her. I watched The Vampire Diaries, so she was also on that show for 3 episodes, and I knew I recognized her, but I couldn't quite put her with a face, with a show, until after I looked it up. And also she was on Phineas and Ferb for an episode, so she's definitely got some acting credentials, both as a voice actor and in television.
Yeah, she's been on like NCIS. She was in the new movie, the Walking with Dinosaurs movie. She did a voice for that. So I think we're looking at some people that are, fans of what they're doing. And I mean, I don't know how much of a Star Wars fangirl she is, but I'm sure she is. And I doubt she would be doing the show if she wasn't.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think they do well, is getting voices for to voice these characters that truly will love them just as much as, the people watching them.
And one thing I was impressed with was, obviously the timing was a little later than some fans would have liked for the female characters, but she did get debuted on the Hollywood Reporter, which is essentially the site for Hollywood news. So that was really cool to see her in that big of a spotlight to get debuted.
Definitely. And it's been kind of interesting where these videos have been being released, because they seem to be sort of scattered all over the place. We've had stuff on USA Today, we've had stuff on the Hollywood Reporter, we've had stuff on Entertainment Weekly. So I find it interesting how they're going about, giving these exclusives to different news outlets. I'd like to really understand what their thought strategy behind all of this was, especially since we didn't get the girl characters until the end. And anybody who's been paying attention to us on Twitter and stuff knows that that's something that's kind of rubbed us a little bit the wrong way. And if you want to hear more about us talking about that, then you'll need to tune into Fangirls Going Rogue for our March episode, because we're going to talk a lot about that there.
Absolutely. I think it'll be a key element of our discussion, and more just to understand it, and also to talk about how we experience it, the revelations as a fan, why emotions picked up, and why sometimes we felt left out. It's obviously this character is fantastic. Just the look of her, and the hair, she's got, the color in her hair, different colors on her armor. Her armor's not quite, full Mandalorian armor, but, because she has shoulder protectors, a chest plate, and then, double blasters and the boots, and they all reflect this colorful way about her and her hair. So I want to see if she changes it up over the season, if she becomes different colors, or if they keep her the same so that her action figures look a certain way. She also has one shoulder is a black and white gauntlet, and the other shoulder has what looks like a wolf on the armor. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, so I can't wait for the show, and I know neither can you, Trisha, but we've got a little bit more to go, and we have some action figures reveals that will be done at San Diego Comic-Con for the girl stars of the show, so that's exciting too.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and one of the reasons I'm excited was to hear that news about the announcement of the announcement from Newsarama that there will be these action figures, is that I have essentially, my 3 nephews and my niece are all in this target age demographic for Star Wars Rebels, and my nephews were old enough to be Clone Wars fans. And we used to, when I would go visit, we would watch it together, and I could talk to them about it, and we had a lot of fun. And I took my niece to Disney World, and she did Jedi Training Academy. She's just old enough to do it, and she took on Darth Vader. And I thought, well, I'm so excited to buy them action figures, but there's no action figure I see here in the initial announcement that I could give to my niece along with them. So I was like, oh. So that was one of the things that I really wanted to see for her, and I'm excited that we'll get to see that, and that I will be able to give all of them action figures, and they can play whichever one they want, but there will be ones that if they wanted to pick it up, it would look like them. So.
Yeah, I know. That was another issue I was really revved up about. And again, we'll talk about it more on Fangirls Going Rogue, but I just want to make sure that if a little girl wants a toy of one of their heroes that they see on TV, that they have access to it. And that's so important.
And let's not forget that she's a Mandalorian, and Mandalorians were the debut of them on Star Wars was, we had Boba Fett, and he just took on a life of his own. And so it's kind of amazing to see that, now we have a female Mandalorian, and we'll get to explore her character, and that she could be as big action figure just as he is.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking forward to, my fingers are crossed, for her universe to do some really awesome Rebel stuff with some of these girls. So I have my fingers crossed.
Well, all I was thinking was, pink! So, me and my pink, and pink and orange. And definitely I was thinking of this cool, there's got to be a cool shirt with Sabine on the front posed with her little guns ablazing.
That, or the cosplaying tunic tops with the hood that's the helmet, her helmet and stuff. That would be really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I could go on about this forever. And about the costume I want to make. And that I want to cosplay at Celebration 7, because I refuse to call it Celebration Anaheim.
I'm the same way. They can try to make us say, but we're going to count them. No matter what they say, we're going to count them. And that's one of the things I'm hoping for. I don't know how they proceed forward, but a lot of people want to cosplay but can't necessarily do the cosplay, have the time, but they want to express it. And the other day I was so excited. I went to see the Lego movie and I got my leggings out, which I braved after our Fangirls Going Road with Amy Ratcliffe to talk about it. And I put on my Ventress top and some boots, and I felt like I was Ventress. So I'm hoping we'll see something along that vein.
Yep, for sure. Well, it's been fun chatting with you, Trisha. We'll have to do this again. Maybe for Hera.
Maybe for Hera and all the other characters. Now that we know the 6 central heroic characters that will be part of Star Wars Rebels. And we're very excited for summer premiere of the 1-hour episode. Which I think was probably late summer, and then in the fall we'll get to see the show.
I know, very exciting. All right, well, I will talk to you soon. And for everybody listening, if you want to find us, you can find us through Fangirls Going Rogue, which is our full-on Star Wars podcast. It's at FG Going Rogue on Twitter. You can go to iTunes, go find Rebel Force Radio, and then just look through their episodes, and you'll find our episodes, because we operate out of the same podcasting feed there. And if you want to send us an email or anything, or contact us, you can email fangirlsgoingrogue@gmail.com, and you can also find us on Facebook at it's Fangirls Going Rogue is our page, and we will definitely talk about our fangirl chat stuff on there. So reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. And also leave a comment in this video. It's right down below.
Right down below. And then you can find Teresa on Twitter at Ice Cold Penguin, and I'm on Twitter at Fangirl Cantina, and we're both on Twitter at FG Going Rogue.
Alrighty. May the Force be with you.
Yep.